All right, good people. I was looking back over my videos for the year and I noticed that I did a part one on using lunar return charts practically, like applying the information on a lunar return practically. And I have some more information that I have to share. And right now we're getting ready to talk about some timing techniques. We're getting real up close and personal. You're looking at my chart right now, my lunar return chart that's coming up in a couple of days on April 30th, right? And you're also on my vision board too. I made an astrological vision board here. I'll talk to you guys about this on another video. Let's stay focused. We're talking about this lunar return chart. And I learned a new technique, which really isn't new. Our ancestors knew about this. So maybe I should say I remembered a technique that our ancestors used. It's like a Time Lord technique. So this shout out to the Hellenistic astrologers who got their information from the ancients, which would be the Babylonians and the Egyptians. So shout out to the ancestors for this. Shout out to the ancestors. I'm going to, this is my planner for the year. It's been well used, as you can see. I'll be planning up a storm up in here. Okay. So to use this technique that I'm getting ready to teach you, you're going to need some form of a moon calculator, which is why I busted out my planner here, because it lets me know every time it's a void of course moon, and it lets me know when the moon is shifting into a different zodiac sign. And so this is what I use in order to map out my timing here. This is what I use to map out the timing. So what do you say in astrologer? Let's dive into it. As I mentioned in the opening, this lunar return is going to take place on exactly April 30th, 2023. Okay? And so on a day that the moon returns back to the placement where it was at my time of birth, which is Leo and sidereal astrology, for this particular month, for this particular chart that I pulled, is going to be conjunct my ascendant, which is the first house. And then if you can see here, I put a notation of the date that this is 30 April. You know, these are my personal notes about what I thought. I did, some tarot readings, pulled some cards, and these are some of the notes that I gathered. But, and I also recommend that you do that. Take notes on your chart. This is why I drew it like this, so I can make my notations on here, notate my observations. Anyway, 30 April, this is exactly when my lunar return is taking place, which is one day prior to Beltane, or May Day, which is May the 1st. And then what I did to get the rest of these dates here that I notated along this wheel is I looked at the moon calendar, and every time the moon is void of course, she's getting ready to transition into another zodiac sign. And so I took note of when all of the void of course moons were based off of my planner. Let me show you an example. Let me go to a blank page. I'm going to show you how I worked out this date from May 2nd. You see that? The way I got that is I checked with my planner. You guys may have like a moon calculator. I mean, it really doesn't matter what method you use, as long as you can tell exactly when. Okay, so you're in my, this is real personal. You're in my like personal book of shadows here. I noticed, see right here, you see here how it says the moon is void of course, and it's going to start at 7:53 p.m. Yeah, I see that, right? This means, to me, this means, okay, take note of this. The moon is getting ready to shift sign, but it's going void of course at 7:53 p.m. And then if we go to the very next day, which is the May 2nd, you see here how it says moon enters Libra. Now this particular planner that I have is using tropical astrology. is using tropical astrology. I like to use sidereal calculations, so I'm translating this to sidereal astrological signs by subtracting the degrees. That's a little advanced, but we just want to make sure that we know that the moon is entering. You see what time? 2:09 a.m. The moon is going to enter into Libra, and that's Tuesday, May 2nd. And that's what I did. I wrote down these notes in my chart. And sidereal astrology is it's about a 23-degree difference. Is that, did I say too many degrees? Goodness gracious. There's a degree difference between tropical astrology and sidereal astrology. So even though in this book here it says Libra, in sidereal timing it will be Virgo. And I put the date here, May 2nd. This is how I'm keeping track of time. If you're working off of tropical astrology, then none of this will apply to you. You could just go off of whatever the book says. That's the zodiac sign that you're going to document and put your notes on next to on your chart. And pretty much I did this same process all around the lunar return wheel that I made. So here, the next time the moon changes sign is on the May 4th. And that's when it'll be in Libra based off of sidereal calculations. Then we see 2 days later, May 6th, the moon shifted to another sign again, which is Scorpio. Then we see here another 2 days later, May 8th, the moon shifted signs again over to Sagittarius. This is the timing technique that I'm using. Why? Because I want to know when each house is going to be emphasized based off of my lunar return chart. So if I'm starting here at Leo, first house, this becomes activated exactly on 30 April. Then I know I'm going to be in my second house energy once we get over here to May 2nd. Now I'm in my second house energy. It's important because if you see something hopping off, like for example here, I noticed that my vertex and Pluto are conjunct at the exact degree. And it's a sixth house conjunction. And it's in the zodiac sign of Capricorn. And when I saw this made me like, this seems like something, exciting, something fated, something important may happen on this day. And I wanted to try to get a timing of it so that I can make sure to be on a lookout for it. And so I can also come back and document it. And so I, of course, that made me map out these days. And I see that the time frame is between 10 May and 13 May. Be on the lookout because something significant can take place, okay, between these days. Also, I have a stellium. As you can see, there's a lot of activity jumping off here in my ninth house in the zodiac sign of Aries on this particular lunar return chart. And I wanted to map out what day this would be highlighted. And it appears that this is going to be emphasized on 17 May. This note up here is just, I did a reading because I wanted to know, okay, what is it that I'm going to be learning about, and it's going to be highlighted and emphasized on this day. And I pulled the Chariot card, and I did this yesterday, 25 April. So this is the card that I pulled to get some more insight into what's going on here. And I notated it. I hope this is making sense. This is a pretty simple technique. If you don't have a moon calculator handy, I think you could get an app for it too. But if for some reason you don't want to do that, you don't want to download any more apps on your phone, or you don't have access to a planner or some type of calendar that will let you know when the moon will be changing zodiac signs. Based off of the calculations that I have done, the moon is shifting signs about every 2 days. Over here was the longest gap where the moon took about 3 days to shift into different sign, but 2 days seems to be the approximate time frame. Oh, okay, 2 to 3 days. Every 2 to 3 days. There's another 3-day gap right here between Gemini and Cancer. So if you could figure out the day that your lunar return is taking place, which I know you know how to do it. If you found this video, you at least know how to get to your lunar return. If you count out 2 days, that will get you the approximate time frame of when you'll be entering into each house. This is also helpful for, like, for example, this particular month is going to be a lunar eclipse and a full moon on May the 5th. And based off of my calculations, I know exactly which house is being emphasized based off of my lunar return, which is my third house. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see how I'm coming up with these calculations? Are y'all understanding what it is that I'm putting down? I do this monthly. I recommend you do the same because you have a lunar return monthly. And so a few days prior to the lunar return coming, because my lunar return is in Leo, my moon sign is in Leo. So once we start approaching like moon in Gemini, moon in Cancer, I know Leo is coming up and my lunar return is coming up. And so I start pulling my chart. I start drawing it out by hand. I may pull some cards. I meditate on it. I make notes about it. I start plotting out the time. I refer to my planner here and I start plotting out the dates so I can start seeing, okay, what day can I expect what energy to be highlighted. And this is how you can hone in on timing. This can help you to get better with your forecasting. And then also, like, I have a chart from last month from my lunar return that's getting ready to come to a close. What I normally will do is I'll flip it over and then I'll document what actually happened for that month, right? Like I remember 2 months ago, my sixth house was emphasized, right? And that particular month, my mother was feeling under the weather, and I had found these powerful affirmations that I sent her to speak life over herself. You know, I got her the care package, the elderberry, and the Anacia. I think I say that wrong every time, but these are good for boosting your immune system. You know, I got her some spicy food to help clear out her sinuses, you know, and so the chart reading and the dates, because when I found the affirmations, it was around the date that my moon was coming, not the moon, but the stellium was getting ready to be highlighted. And that's when my mother reported to me that she was feeling under the weather. And I was like, damn, this is accurate. And so that's another reason I recommend that you document, you notate exactly what did happen, because then that's going to validate that, okay, this is accurate. What I'm doing is accurate. I'm getting better. It's going to validate to you that yes, you're getting better with your forecasting. You're getting a better understanding of how these energies are impacting you during the month. It gives you a heads up, so you're not really getting caught by surprise unless you want to be surprised. But if you want to take that element out and be prepared and plan accordingly, you know, to the best of your ability based off of the information that you're picking up from doing your due diligence. This is a wonderful technique that our ancestors used as far as the timing. And I mean, we could go much deeper, much more deeper. Let me know if y'all interested in that. We could go so deep with this. And I do need to make another video to talk to you about cosmic mapping and how to use your chart to create your vision for the year. We'll talk about that on another video. But for now, practice with this timing technique that I showed you. Refine it, improve it. Let me know how it works for you. Let me know if you're noticing your accuracy increasing with your timing and your forecasting by implementing this technique. Signing in, out, above, beyond, below, beneath, underground, all around, uptown, downtown, midtown, here, there, anywhere, everywhere, nowhere, past, present, future, now, out.